Yes, ma'am, you can start now.
Hmm. So, and a very good summary afternoon to one and all. The vibe that stands for Women Inspire, Build and Enhance welcomes you to another empowering edition of the Vibe Live, a hexalog. As you all know, the Vibe is a platform dedicated to fostering women's excellence. It brings together women doctors from diverse specialties to share knowledge, leadership excellence experiences, and personal journeys that inspire both growth as well as collaboration. There are four fundamental pillars that form the vibe: physical well being, mental health, financial wisdom, and professional excellence. Through various initiatives, the Vibe strives to build a community of women professionals who uplift one another and redefine the landscape of healthcare. I'm Dr. Ritu Johri, consultant diabetologist and metabolic expert practicing in western suburbs of Mumbai. I have a unique diverse background with decade and a half spent in pharma industry and last half a decade spent in treating diabetes, thyroid, and obesity. Besides clinical practice, I also contribute to research and medical writing as a co-founder of Arfect, a medical marketing agency. But what brings me utmost pleasure in sharing is the introduction of this exclusive initiative, The Vibe, as a founder of one of its kind platform. I'm blessed to be complimented by my husband, who's an orthopedic surgeon, and our family feels complete with a teen son and a toddler daughter. With that, let me introduce you to our team Vibe. And first of all, a very warm welcome to our diva today, Dr. Svetlana Toshnimal.
Thank
Welcome,
you.
ma'am, to the Vibe Live. And over
Welcome.
to, and over to you, Dr. Lotika.
Hello, I am Dr. Lotika Purohit. Welcome, Dr. Svetlana. We're really happy to have you here with us today. And so I'm a diabetologist and a lifestyle medicine physician practicing in Colaba since the last 3 decades. I'm also a Rotarian, have been past president of Rotary Club of Bombay Midtown, and I'm also part of the District 3141 and their medical activities. Besides that, I'm also part of the National Executive for a Research Society for Study of Diabetology in India. I'm the co-partner of Sugar Doctor with my husband, Dr. Suresh Purohit, and I'm a mother to an artist and an entrepreneur. But what really gives us a lot of happiness, besides, of course, our Rotary meetings on Wednesday, is this platform for the last 6 months, wherein we get a star speaker, we have a nice long chat, understand the journey that she has gone through, and explore what is how we as doctors get inspired and others also can do. So we're really looking forward to have a nice time with Dr. Svetlana. Now I hand over to Dr. Kavita Rane for her introduction.
Thank you, Dr. Latika. Good afternoon, ma'am. Namaskar, Mumbai. I'm Dr. Kavita Rane. I have been a diabetologist and cardiometabolic expert for the past 16 years. I'm the director of operations at Rane Hospital in Chembur. I also practice as a diabetologist at Apollo Spectra Clinic in Chembur. I took up diabetology because I want to educate people and communicate what's right and what's not. And I love doing that through camps. We hold quarterly camps at our place for women and child health. And besides academics, I am an avid travel photographer. I've had my exhibition at Jahangir Art Gallery and Simrose Art Gallery in Mumbai. I love to travel with my dad, so which is why the photography exhibition. I love EDM music. We play golf, and this is the best part: Vibe, the Wednesday Vibe Live with these gorgeous, amazing panel of doctors. It is simply invigorating. And being with you today, we are really blessed. Thank you very much. Over to Dr. Pranjali.
Thanks, Kavita.
So, good afternoon, ma'am. I'm Dr. Pranjali Shah, Director and Chief Diabetologist at Eye Heal and App Diabetes Clinic. It's an eye and diabetes specialty hospital in Mulund. I love treating young diabetics and help them live longer and stronger. But I always look for the Wednesdays for connecting with leaders like you, as well as weekends, because I love farming. So on weekends, you will see me hiking, farming, helping animal in their shelter homes with my two young boys, and really looking for this lovely conversation with you, ma'am. Over to you,
Thank
Dr. Rukia.
Hello, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. Welcome here. And I'm Dr. Rukia Surya Sheikh. I'm a diabetes, thyroid, and an obesity specialist. I've been practicing in Mulund for the past decade and a half. And this journey has taught me that healthcare is not just about treating numbers, it's about understanding people. So while I'm not in clinic, I love to work out. I have enrolled myself in High Rocks. So, girls, that is news for y'all too. And I am currently now actively training for that as well. Along with that, I love to play carom. I enjoy good company and these meaningful conversations, which make you think, you make you laugh. And it's been just so lately I have started also painting, which is my way of adding little color and calm to the chaos of my daily life. So I'm truly excited to be here today among all you inspiring women in medicine to learn, to share, and to grow together. Thank you, ma'am, for accepting our invitation.
Thank you.
That
Just before, I am not ma'am. Please call me Dr. Svetlana. Call me Svetlana. I'll be more than at ease if I'm not called ma'am. Thank you.
I just love your name, and you just gave me the rightest permission ever because I love pronouncing Svetlana. I hope I'm doing it right.
Yes.
Okay,
Ma'am, what
wonderful.
does it mean?
So it means to bring light, but there's a very classified version of why I'm named Svetlana, which has been a conversation starter for me since
Wow.
probably I was 10 years old, since I can remember. So, it gives you that little up
Yeah,
with
yeah,
your
yes.
audience or with your friends or with strangers because they always ask you, why do you have this name? So
Right.
I'm going to wait for this question later, but I will tell you all at some point.
Super. So, with that curiosity for our audience, let me first of all welcome officially Dr. Svetlana for this wonderful journey of the Vibe Live Hexalog, where we chose the title of Clarity Beyond Vision, a journey of skill, balance, and purpose. Now, what is clarity? Clarity is not just about seeing better, but it is about living and leading with a sharper purpose. Our speaker today is someone who reminds us that vision extends far beyond what actually your eyes can see. Dr. Toshniwal has built a life of excellence as a respected ophthalmologist, director of Iris Eye Clinic, and a dynamic leader who's committed to community transformation. Her journey is one of skill, balance, and purpose in the truest sense. With your permission, ma'am, just few lines about you for our lovely audience. Dr. Svetlana Toshniwal is practicing general ophthalmologist with special interest in diagnostics, imaging, dry eyes, refractive and cataract surgery, has successfully established and managed corporate clinic under the brand of Iris Medical Center at Vile Parle, Mumbai, which was established in 2011. Then she also has a private practice at Churchgate, Mumbai. Dr. Svetlana has worked and achieved her DNB qualifications in ophthalm under the renowned ophthalmologist Dr. S. Natarajan and the Aditya Jyotai Hospital, Mumbai. Has worked at the BYL Nair Hospital, Mumbai for a year and received cataract surgery training under the renowned surgeon Dr. Anil Kulkarni at Kulkarni Eye Hospital, Miraj. Dr. Svetlana has also partnered with Dr. Garg, a trained pediatric ophthalmologist from Sankar Netralaya, Chennai, to start the Eye Solutions Clinic at Musgao, Mumbai, and also practices at the Eye Solutions Clinic at Kemp's Corner. Dr. Toshnawal is also a technical consultant to Tosh Bro Medicals Private Limited, a leading ophthalmologic surgical and diagnostic equipment distributor in India. where she trains and advises the team on technical matters relating to their business. Wow, such a dynamic personality, ma'am. Truly a warm welcome. If this is not inspiration, guys, then what is? So, quick one question, ma'am, to you. How did you feel when you got the invitation from Dr. Lotika for the first time about the Vibe Life?
So for me, it was like, why me? Because why me? What have I achieved? You always, I think as women, we always land up judging ourselves too hard. We are always undermining our achievements because somewhere we have juggled our way to wherever, whatever we are doing. So we've not really paused and, give it a thought that, oh, so today when I'm actually listening to you, I'm feeling very like, wow, I'm so like, I've achieved a lot or I'm on my way. So I think that is what I think we don't pause. So when Dr. Lotika asked me, like, would you like to be on this? I'm like, I'm just okay. I'm not like out there. She said, no, no, you come, you'll be fine, you'll be there. So I was like, I was little feeling very happy. Like I was feeling very, very recognized, honestly, because I don't think we are too hard on ourselves as women who are out there not staying at home. We judge ourselves. Whatever our achievements are, I feel we just put it out there and we go on to the next balancing job, which will
Absolutely.
just come our way. Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's why we're so very happy that we could give you this feeling that, there is so much that you've done. So that will be uncovered during the entire conversation. So without further ado, Dr. Rukia, over to you for the first segment.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, my segment is about your journey. The doctor who's behind the microscope and how she brings the clarity about which goes beyond the vision. So, Dr. Svetlana, you are an absolute inspiration. Not just a pause. I think you need a break to, go through your, revisit about yourself and really give a big pat on yourself and great hugs to you have achieved great. So, you are an absolute inspiration. And the way you have been setting trends in your career with your vision, restoring others' vision, as well as exemplifying a life philosophy that leads to success together. So, ma'am, about your journey that we have, you started your journey in Kanpur. You studied medicine then at BJ Medical College, Pune. Then you worked in the US and you trained in ophthalmology. So, how did this choice of ophthalmology first came? So, what shaped this decision about, finally, like, I want to do opthal for all my life?
So just many don't know that I have a gap of almost 7 years between my MBBS and all my MBBS related internship and job and then doing ophthalmology because
Okay.
I married young. I married straight after my internship and I think that kind of, when you fall in love, you see nothing but you want to be with the person you want to be. And I came from a very non-medical family. I had an uncle who was a doctor. So for me, pursuing medicine was more because my father really wanted to, though rest of my family, I come from a fairly traditional Marwari family. So they were like from
Mhm.
Kanpur. So for them, everything was like, eventually you have to get married and settle. So even when I joined medicine, my mother was like, you've proved a point now, you don't need to continue if you don't want to. So I think after studying and being away from home for 5 6 years, I felt I don't want to study. Now I've done MBBS, I'm going to be fine and I'll just get married. And I went to the US, but then the doctor in me had woken up at that point, and you cannot just be not doing anything with your life. So 2 3 years passed, I had my baby, and I thought life was fine, and I was working as an intensivist, or I would say as a registrar in an intensive care unit in Bombay Hospital, and I was loving internal medicine. I used to love the action in an ICU, when actually you see results. I loved it. But then by the time I got around clearing my DNB and all, just internal medicine seemed very hard and very taxing. And that's my first love. And I still love reading about it. I still love my Harrison, and I have not given away that book. So I think I realized that, now with the baby, and now I'm like almost 28, 29, and have to start all over again. I did all over again. I went to some coaching classes in Dadar because I needed to start all over again. I had one or two friends who were not ready to give up on me as, not having a post graduation with MBBS. So somewhere around 29, I enrolled myself. So we all know that getting a seat or getting what you want to, I had a lot of things I wanted to do. I wanted to be in Bombay. I no more could do MD. I had the only option I had was DNB. And then I kind of narrowed, and then I remembered my uncle, who's the only doctor in my family. And I was quite fond of knitting and sewing. And he kept telling me, that microsurgery will work very well for women. Because, y'all are basically gentle people. You know how to. This was a very Marwadi thinking, but somewhere as child, I was told that, you'll be good with all this. And I second option was pediatrics. And I had one child, and I said, okay, I can't deal with so many childs, and I can't deal even with my friends who are new mothers. I can't hear this. My child is not well. So I said, in pediatrics is not for me. So then I said, okay, ophthalmology is for me. And obviously, my friends kind of chad me, that, OT and surgery and that cap mask. It's the most exciting thing a doctor can be. So for me, I think it was a little bit of an accidental ophthalmology. But having said that, when I go back and I imagine my life, even if I would have done my MS post MBBS, I would have not chosen anything but ophthalmology. I'm very happy where I am. So when I started, I felt like I'm an accidental ophthalmologist, but now I feel no, I was meant to be an ophthalmologist always.
Wonderful, ma'am. But big kudos to your grit of that, I have to get back even at the age of 29 at
29, 30,
having a
almost.
child, restarting your life all over again, especially studying. So, like we can change from working, and then you lead. But, going back to entrance exams and, like, okay, now I have to get into admission, doing your residency. Oh, I'm sure it must have
I
been
had
quite
to
a
go to
journey.
many such colleges with my degree, and they were like, what are you doing now? Forget about it.
Yeah. So
Had to be done.
actually, for that matter, if we would have a senior, so there would be students, from social service who join. So generally, they are elderly people who come, after many years of practice, and they uh, join back. And you look at them, okay, why? But rest all are like at 21, 22, and you have somebody who's elder. So yes, I'm sure you must have had those kind of
Yeah,
experiences too.
yeah, all the
Uh,
resident. My senior resident, my lecturer was 2 years younger to me. So that was okay. He had just joined. Yeah.
yes, yes. Ma'am,
Yes.
ophthalmology, coming back to that, now that requires a lot of precision, it requires patience and trust. And what qualities do you feel make a good eye surgeon beyond these technical skills? And as an ophthalmologist, your work is literally about restoring vision. Until then, we do not remember to go to an ophthalmologist, frankly. Like जब तक दिखाई दे रहा है ऑप्थेल्मोलॉजिस्ट की जरूरत नहीं है जब नहीं दिखाई
Yeah,
देगा तब हम
that's
आँख
true.
के डॉक्टर के पास जाएंगे so beyond eyesight what does clarity mean to you personally and professionally?
So, we experience all the time. I think in today's world where everything is so AI, all our technology, whether we have OCT machines, even our surgery, we have these very on cameras and all, everything is refractive. Everything is getting that perfect vision of 6.5, 6.4. But I always maintain that whatever you see, it's not the quantity. Okay, 6.6 is normal, but it is some standard set somewhere we need a benchmark. But even if I tell my patients that you're seeing 6.9 clear or 6.12 clear, just be comfortable than going for that absolutely sharp vision. We are not pilots, we are not shooters. We don't have to see that one little bird perching on some tree with its beak. It's good, but on the bigger picture, I think what I really feel this whole emphasis on 6.5 and 6.4 ke naam pe we are selling so much of technology, so much of testing, so much we are hoarding as machines in our own practices, making our cost of, our expenses go up, and then we are kind of overselling to our patients. I think we could be just sit back and let them be. I mean, and if an 75, 80-year-old who has a sedentary life is going to do fine with 6.9 vision, or if 10% vision less, you have to not just escalate the cost, not just subject the person to too much of testing, too heavy glasses. I actually don't even give glasses to an elderly who's seeing 6.9. Just read and you're fine, because why do you have the pressure of wearing glasses when nothing's going to change in your life? So I feel, even in my thing, I had a resident, my senior resident, who used to tell me the joy of even giving a good chashma and the person is happy, or a good contact lens. You should just, all this is a little joy than actually going and doing these fancy surgeries and selling these fancy IOLs, intraocular lenses, and getting that absolute superhuman vision. So I'm not so much pro that. For me, clarity is what you want to see clear. Even, if you don't need to see that much, then don't go for those premium lenses, because affordability is something we should be mindful of. And once you tell the patient, once you sell the patient the idea of these very premium lenses, they are going to go for those lenses. So I always tell them that, what, just balance it out, see how much you want to spend, what is your insurance, because really, I've in my practice, you have a premium lens which has probably not done as well, the patient is still very unhappy, than a charity patient who's absolutely happy. So I think an unhappy patient, sometimes I feel, is worth 20 happy patients. That patient is going to irritate you and bother you all day. So I don't believe in too many hypothetical expectations for my patients, and I never tell them you're going to have a glass free life, because I don't think that's a possibility. In most of the cases we let go, we tell them nahi nahi number nahi hai, but glass free life I never tell them. But I said you can choose not to wear glasses for that 80% of the time and you'll be fine. Come on, it's not such a big deal. Another thing I think I'm very clear, and I had done a podcast with a grade 11 student, was that this whole idea of wearing glasses is considered geeky, considered nerdy, considered as a sign of not good looking. So that is something which I'm absolutely against. I've had mothers who are literally shouting at their 14-year-olds to move to contact lenses, especially if there are weddings and parties. And I keep telling them, be wearing glasses is not taking down their looks or doing something to them. So this little thing, I think Bollywood, Hollywood, everywhere, the braces and the glasses means the girl or the boy is ugly and geeky and nerdy, and suddenly they come up with this whatever. So this is something which I find I am very clear on, that if you don't want to wear contact lenses, believe me, I've had a 24-year-old boy who said, Auntie, I don't want to get my LASIK done. And the mother is like, nahi, nahi, LASIK to karao, get rid of the glasses. And I'm like, but if he's happy with glasses, let it be. So I think
I
that
see most
clarity I
of the
have, that I don't
ophthalmologists
push my
wearing,
patients for anything. Yeah.
right. I see most ophthalmologists, they wear glasses.
Then
So,
very few get
yeah.
LASIK done, but we are selling
Yes.
it left, right, and center. So
And yeah, true. And but you know what, because I have a teenage daughter who's in grade 10 now. Every time she'll keep telling me, Mama, I can't see well. I really think I have glasses. You need to take me to an ophthal. I've taken her, and the doctor is like, oh, it's just accommodation. She needs to it's because of they have a lot of work online.
and near vision, they
So
do a
she
lot.
needs
Yeah.
to near vision. So it's just accommodation she doesn't have. But I think it's between a certain age, where between 12 to 17, 18, they find glasses very cool. And then, as they grow up, the mothers and the family are like, अच्छा ये चश्मे पहनती है, इसके चश्मे निकलवाते हैं हम.
So this is, I
Yes,
don't think we should relate. This is an aid. It is not a disease.
I
So it's
I
not
agree. I
fair
agree.
to.
So I have always been wearing contacts. right from my MBBS and then even later. And now I am just so bored. I mean, it's just so boring to wear contacts all the time. It's also affecting me my with my near vision. So then now I'm just like, okay, I'm wearing glasses, be what may.
I don't have a distance vision, but I'm wearing glasses. I'm like, so even in our age, I would say 50 plus, we are moving to clear lens extraction and getting rid of the numbers. And
My ophthalm friends have suggested me that.
I'm not against it, but I'm not for it. It's your choice because really crystalline lens, all the blue blockers and all, no natural lens will give you the vision. You may get again quality, a very high quality.
Mhm.
You will see read maybe without glasses, you're 6'5" and 6'6". But
Mhm.
that maza of a natural crystalline lens, I think I will postpone it for as long as you need to. There is a need and a want. So that balance, that
Right,
clarity I have, that I actually discuss the need rather than, I want to get clear. Like 52-year-olds, they're getting their lens out and they are wearing these multifocal lenses, which have their own issues. So, and there's a
right,
risk factor to go intraocular. So, this is something which I'm very clear about, but then I lose patience because if they want to do it, they do go to. If not me, they'll go elsewhere. So,
correct,
yeah,
correct.
so that clarity that it should be, you should not focus so much on this perfect vision because your mind should have that perfect vision, that perfect clarity. It's okay to have one line less of vision.
Wonderful, ma'am. I like that clarity in thought that you have. I'm okay with it being an ophthal, even if all my friends are, going for 6'5", 6'6". But I'm very clear that this is what, I like the need and the want. I think that is something which is really impressive. Ma'am, you've trained under names like Dr. Natarajan and Dr. Anil Kulkarni. What is this one lesson from your training years that still guides your practice today?
So, Dr. Natarajan, if anybody knows him, he is a very. If does anybody know Dr. Natarajan personally or
Not
professionally?
personally, but we have friends who've trained with him.
Okay, so Dr. Natarajan is a very amazing person, but he's a very taskmaster and he's quite. So, one thing I've learned not to take too much of on him, that I find him very, no one is indispensable. He could be a one man show, and even if his right hand retires or leaves him, he will not crib about, he never cribbed about it for even 1 minute. And that is what I have learned. And our practices, I used to run a iris clinic first at Ville Parle, and a doctor opened a Samuel clinic who worked at Iris in Ville Parle for a few years. But when he opened his own center, he took 70% of my staff, from my OT nurse to everybody. I was senior to him, I could tell him. But he said it's a common practice and, we do it all the time. And that day, or along Dr. Natarajan's words echo that nobody is indispensable. So for me, if anybody can leave, if I know that job, I should be able to do it and train it. So this whole dependency, whether it's on my OT nurse or on my optometrist or on my contact lens specialist, of course you need them for those two extra cases which are very specialized and all. But routine work, I think our training should be that if it needs to be, we could run our own clinic and our own OTs as a one-man show. So this is something which was really something I learned. And his ambitions had no boundaries. So you could just feel like, yeah, if one wants, they can at least dream to fly. So this was one thing which I learned from him, that you really have to be a one man show. You should be so complete with your knowledge, with your skill, and with your desire to do anything. That today if I have to sit in my receptionist, I do struggle with the software because I don't use it every day, but I know it. Worst case scenario, you can just write it like old time's sake on your plain paper and make your patient go away. So my dependency on somebody not coming and all, I've kind of, it doesn't bother me anymore. And I think that's one reason why I could take up this Rotary president job, because you know that you can do it. And Dr. Kulkarni was something which happened. I know him for years. He's a very renowned surgeon across India and Maharashtra at least. He has been telling me at conferences that come and see my setup, come work in my setup. So just 2 years being at home, we ophthalmologists can't do much work from home. And having your children and having your husband and everybody work from home, and you also trying to figure. Just one morning, I called him. One morning means 1 week. And I said, Sir, I think now is the time I want to come and be with you. Monday morning, I packed my bags and I told my husband, I may come back in 1 day, I may come back in 1 week, I may come back in 1 month. So I just left. I said, Sir, you asked me 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you've been asking me, I'm coming now. He's saying, Aa jao. He also didn't know he would have given me surgeries. He taught me some great lessons of, some techniques and everything. But I think overall, just the experience of at the age of 45, 46 to just leave everything at home and go live again as a hostelite in his hospital in one of the patient rooms he cleaned up and let me stay, to have lunches with him, to hang out with his 90-year-old grandmother, to be his family, to be in out of town and fill your own sometimes hot water like any hostel would have, not have to eat again from the dabba. I think it was just my way to go back to my. I think I keep going back to my basics to kind of recharge and refuel myself. So it was like going back to my ground and learning from him and being a student again. Again, I was this 45-year-old plus 28-year-olds going on rounds with him. But I think it keeps me young and energetic. And I learned from him, obviously, the techniques and balance. This small town, that it's not always those 12 hours. You sneak in those 2 hours for yourself. You come home for lunch. You go for a movie. It's okay. There's nothing called all work and no play. So these small town doctors, I think, have it all. They do everything. They don't have to travel long
Wow.
distances. They do everything. I loved that experience of just being in that family around him for 2 months.
And how they are satisfied with all of this, I think we are all in a rush, I don't know to reach where, and there they are all famous, but a doctor saab aaye hain, so everybody will also give him that
Yeah,
kind of.
the ward boy is serving dinner, the OT nurse is coming, अच्छा मैं साग काट देती हूँ शाम को. I mean, it's all just quite nice. I think we are
Yeah,
making too many boundaries for us with our people. We just don't need to do all
correct.
that.
Yes. Wonderful, Dr. Svetlana. You're so clear, and so what I really felt from you is you're just so about basics. Nothing big, nothing fancy. It's just about having basics and having everything very simple down to, smaller things. I think that is really wonderful. Thank you so much. I had a wonderful time interacting with you. Over to you, Dr. Kavita, for your next segment.
Thanks, Dr. Rukia. After that amazing segment, ma'am, we learned so much about you. So, this next segment is about building clinics and building confidence. So, ma'am, you founded Iris Medical Center and later built your own practice at Churchgate. So, what were the biggest challenges of creating your own identity as a docpreneur?
So I'll tell you a little bit about Iris. When after my thing, I worked with Dr. Natarajan, which was the Taj Mahal of all ophthalmology hospitals. It had every possible AI driven or machinery on earth in those 4 floors. It had everything. We used to call it, because he, that time was even a bigger doctor. Now we have more. Any Zeiss, anybody who's coming up with anything, we've seen at least the demos and those machines put in the hospital for years. It was, and then I went to Nair where but there was very lot of basics. I'm talking about 20 years ago, where even syringes and all, you have to kind of save up your IOLs also. You have to save up. There was nothing. So I felt there's a lot of disparity in these young graduates who are actually coming out from these hospitals, these government hospitals, but they have absolutely no exposure, no access to afford these big machines. And to give good quality care, you need an access to these machines, and affording these machines in one practice is absolutely impossible. Then you'll have to give up ethical practice to recover your cost of setting up those machines. So that's when my husband and I thought, and we thought we'll make this Iris Medical Center, which was a neutral diagnostic and surgical center. And my husband, being in the company where he was representing some of the most high-end machines, we made this diagnostic center in Villepalde, and it went with full knowledge, market research and all, where we thought all these young ophthalmologists who are developing that practice will actually have an access to. And I was not practicing over there ophthalmology. I was more reporting, running it as an admin. So I always had this little thing that my home is South Bombay. I will have to work from here eventually. My clients will grow here. So that we had at a time almost 100 doctors referring patients to us, and they were either the OT model was a pay-per-use model. And we thought if it works, it will scale it up to other parts of Bombay, to other parts of India or wherever. So it did well, but I realized that in the end, what my experience after this is that something called group practice or team practice is very difficult across practices, but ophthalmology for sure. So people are not ready to, share their database, their client base and all. So, and as soon as they're ready with little bit of capital, they're ready to buy these third hand machines, they're ready to buy whatever. But this whole need to have your own setup is very, very high amongst doctors, amongst how Indians need to finally have that own house. We doctors need to have our own practice. So I'm now running a practice of my own. So that concept was there for 10, 12 years till COVID happened. And I realized I really don't want to be so far from home. I will more work on my South Bombay practice. So we kind of liquidated that concept. Though we had a lot of doctors who were very upset because the OT, everything was very good and very high end. We've had doctors saying we'll get our white collar patients to you, because we need to give that impression. So we've gone through the whole rigmarole. But in the end, I'm back to my practice in Churchgate. So Mazgaon happened because then again, I was doing my South Bombay patients in eye solutions. So Dr. Deepak and I thought, let's start something at Mazgaon. So all this was pre-COVID. I said, no, I can't do this travel. Iris is well settled. But then post-COVID, I think I needed just to be around home and live longer, because I feel if you commute less, you live longer because you save so much time not being on road. So what I miss is really group practice, though I operate at two hospitals. I miss that five, six doctors meeting up maybe for a coffee in the canteen, that buzz of a hospital, I truly, truly miss. I really think that somewhere we can give better practice, better care to our patient if we all collaborate together. But I think we all know it's very, very hard. You don't land up discussing cases, you don't like sharing resources, knowledge. We're all sitting in our little cubicles morning to evening seeing patients. So I really feel that somewhere we need to evolve and give team practice a fair chance, which we are not doing, which we can say, but it is very cutthroat. Mera patient, uska patient, usne bula liya, usko kar liya, which I guess is important, but it was never important to me. It was never important to me.
So
So
which
team.
means that, yeah, which means that you learned your lessons and then you
Yeah,
kind
so now
of,
I'm happy, and I'm happy that I do go to other hospitals, and then it's a customary thing after surgery. We three, four of us meet, we have our tea that once or twice a week, we discuss, we share cases, and they're
wow,
also like-minded doctors, and we enjoy. I really look forward to my days when I visit other hospitals to meet other doctors. I feel very lonely when I'm in my own
that's very true.
world.
It happens to all of us also. We do that. We
Yeah,
are
I think it should
king of the
happen to all
whole
of us. You need that mental ophthalmology connect on a day-to-day basis with your colleagues. I think
world.
it's a myth that your a private practitioner is happy. It's not
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah. That's very true, ma'am. I know that sticking to your lane is what is necessary to focus, but those friends who share their views about one specific topic very necessary, like we do in diabetology. We really, it really enriches all of us. I mean, it's amazing to discuss. So, ma'am, moving on, as co-founder of Eye Solutions Clinics, what did you learn about teamwork, patient experiences, and like clinical systems? What was it that you learned from it?
So, eye solutions was something I think you learned that everybody's actually looking for themselves. There's a little bit of distrust which comes in team practice. So you have, it's that's what it's not practice. So I didn't get your question. What did I? Because I've been three things I've done. I've done eye solutions. I've done iris, and
Yes,
I've done Tolbo
co-founder,
Medicals.
as
So
co-founder.
co-founded only the Masgaon bit we did,
Okay,
not the his
fine.
clinic was running on its own. So the Masgaon bit. So I think it was interesting because then your risks are divided and your so that
Yeah,
is a big backup, that you're there and you don't really have to struggle with anything because you know that you both will watch each other's back.
true, true.
But I think by the time as I was growing older, also I wanted to do many other things in life. So when you're in partnership or any association, it has its own thing, but then you're also answerable to not just your patients, but your system, basically, who could be your, even in your own practice. This year I've been blocking a lot of my time for Rotary, and my own assistant comes and asks me, "Madam, I think आप बहुत कम आए इस हफ्ते और इस महीने." So I think sometimes just having to answer somebody all the time in a group practice or a team practice or in a partnership practice gets little challenging for a free spirited person like me. So I find it very, so I think that's when I thought that, I want to be on my own, though I said I do miss the whole interaction and whole
Right.
having somebody always with you. I do miss that connect.
Mm.
But then nobody questions me. So there's a give and take on this. So that was
So,
a big learning being in a partnership with somebody. Otherwise, I've always been on my own or I've been with bigger institutes in a job.
right, right. So, ma'am, moving on to the last question, you also serve as a technical consultant for Toshbro Medicals. So, how important is technology in modern ophthalmology, especially in diagnostic, dry eye care, cataract, and refractive
Very,
surgery?
very important and very fast evolving. So this company which I'm sitting on is actually belongs to my husband. So I
Okay.
realize that we have these people and they know everything about the machine, but they really don't know what they are selling. It's like those MRs coming, throwing these big, big jargons at you, but they don't know anything. So I
Right.
said, come on, now, these are big machines in lakhs you all are selling. You all should have some little training, expertise, because it's a gift. Some machines are just, will not sell in the market. So then I got involved with the company looking at basically training their
Mm.
more marketing people and, you know, so
Yeah.
for example, a new LASIK machine ka we got the agency or my husband was exploring and he kept telling me that it is you can do it online, sitting in Goa, you can operate here. So I said, it is just so hard to believe. Now come and tell me about it. And actually, when I read the literature, I said, come on, somebody
Mm.
is doing it. Maybe you can enter your data, you can do, but you cannot actually do the LASIK, please. And will a patient go and have a machine do the LASIK while you know the doctor is sitting in Goa? So I said, come on, we are in India. You're not going to and forget maybe Bombay you may sell this one machine. Do you think somebody sitting in Ahmedabad and Kanpur and Lucknow will buy this machine when there is no doctors are coming out? So these were places where I wanted to actually I stepped in and I said, you all do your market research better. So that is really my role on a bigger front. And
Mm.
obviously, sometimes they do have a lot of questions related to, really that machine, they get stuck if, somebody's bought, say, for example, an OCT machine of the company we represent. And then there are a lot of technical, medical, eye related or ophthalmology related answers they don't know. Will the machine, how are the parameters? Because we again want our machines to do everything for us. But AI in ophthalmology, diagnostic imaging is amazing and too much. too much of work. I think it's what we are not going to get left behind, but these machines cost a lot. Again, I come back to share your resources, share your resources. But it doesn't happen.
It really would make a difference if a whole lot of people pooled in together to get those machines rather than each one individually, like what you're saying.
And getting a
But
poorer, like a a revamped machine, a second-hand machine, an assembled machine. But
yeah,
the need for ownership is very high in our country.
thank you so much, ma'am. Over to Dr. Pranjali for the next segment.
Thanks a lot, Kavita. And ma'am, it was really lovely listening to you and so insightful. Your journey, actually, it is really motivating. So my next segment is about women leadership and services. Ma'am, as we know we handle so many roles, family, profession, leadership, and now have your own company also. So you're managing so many roles. So plus adds the 57th president of the Rotary Club of Bombay Midtown. What does actually leadership mean to you at this stage of your life?
I think, aren't we all wearing many, many hats all the time? I think this question, Dr. Lotika could also help me answer. She was the one who saw something and whatever inspired me to take up this role 1, 2 years back whenever I had to come on the ladder. But I think now I'm end of my thing and actually I'm counting my meetings now. 5 more to go, 4 more to go, 3 more to go. Because I think as a leader, you could be a part of any organization, but a leadership role of a organization of a fairly diverse population, history, everything, I think teaches you that finally the buck stops at you. So you cannot duck. You have to stand straight. So this is something which I learned, many times. And this is now reminds me again for Dr. Natarajan. He said, "You are dying to become doctors. You are dying to leave me and go. But it's not easy. You all do the surgery. You all don't have to face any fear when the patta will open next day. I will face the patient. You all will know when you all do it on your own. He used to
Yes.
many times tell us. So now I feel when you're in the leadership at the helm, really the buck stops at you. So if venue is not done, menu is not done, speaker has cancelled, or whatever, paperwork is not done, money has not come for a project,
Yes.
people are all there to support you. But really, you cannot duck here. You cannot stop. You have to take ownership of that situation. So I think that was one big thing which I think I learned, that there is no going away from this. Not, you have to face it. It's not
Same.
fight it. You cannot run away from it. And I think second was a lot of people complain, a lot of people don't complain. So bricks and bats both are yours. I think one has to pick their battles because some flames just come and they go. You don't have to attend to every little chingari which has come, because not
Yes.
everything becomes a big blown flyer. So don't waste your energy. Pick your battles everywhere in life. And that's across. Everything you can make a mountain of a bowl, or you can just let it die its own death. So the minute we 70-80% die their own death, 5-10% are actually relevant, 5-10% is noise. So I think picking my battles or picking my situations which I wanted to deal with in this 9, 10, now almost 11 months helped me. It was a big life lesson for me that it is not going to be relevant after some time. So why give it so much of उसने ऐसा बोला, उसने ऐसा बोला, उसने
Yes.
ये नहीं किया, उसने वो नहीं किया, because it's not. But bigger picture is a year. So usme one meeting has not gone up to the mark, or people are not happy. It should not bother you. You should just get up for the next one. So I think these two things I will take as I finish my year, as in a leadership role of this kind, which was totally different to kind of go there. It was very different. I quite
Yes,
enjoyed
amazing,
it.
ma'am. So, ma'am, yeah, they say it's like emotional bank, we have emotional bank, everybody has it. So you need to choose your battles correctly, because otherwise you will just end up finishing your emotions and you will not be able to perform your actual roles. So perfect, ma'am. So my next question to you, ma'am, is what unique strength do you think women bring to leadership, and how have you navigated these different roles with grace?
Come on, all of us give me an answer. I think we all are in our own rights leaderships, and how are we all doing this? I think we all have an answer to this. I think
So,
for
ma'am,
me,
how do
my
you keep your calm? So, one thing. So, you can give me one answer. Like, you are managing so many things. So, sometimes you might feel overwhelmed, or sometimes you might feel frustrated also managing so many things. So, what is the mantra which keeps you motivated and calm when you are handling so many things?
that is, I think, that technique of I practice Vipassana, which we
Okay.
talk later. But I think women inherently, the two X's come together, you have to multitask. You don't have time. You move, as I said in early, you just keep moving. Kahan I'll carry a work related issue if I have a 24-year-old and a 13-year-old and a husband and my in-laws and your friends and your menopause and your hormones. So where is the
Yeah.
time to
To
so
manage
you
so many things.
manage, so you multitask, you switch on and off. I think our switch on and off is always off here, on here, off here, on here. So I think that always happens. I mean, really, where is the thing? And if you don't, then you cannot, then you just honestly you cannot. Then you go for your walk or you just shout and you scream and you forget about it. But really we are doing too many things, I feel. And I think we women see things to completion. Like I feel the difference between a man and a woman. We just don't पढ़ाई वढ़ाई नहीं किया, whatever small thing, you don't let go. You want to see the end of it. You want a closure. I feel men just let go, or they don't care, or they put it behind to deal with it another thing. I think as women, we deal with it in a more complete way. Our
Perfection. Yes.
perfection, even our anger, we deal with it. तो तब तक डांट नहीं लो, गुस्सा नहीं हो लो, you don't feel the satisfaction of just being angry. Or you call up that best friend and bitch also. But you need to close it. You can't
Yes.
leave a loose one somewhere. So
Yes.
I think you need to close your matters there and then. Like I'll tell you, as so many messages come, people tell me you instantly reply. I said it's easy to instantly reply, then keep it in your mind and reply after some time. Then that pending list becomes bigger. Here
Bigger.
it's whole endeavor is to keep scratching and making the list smaller. So I think that's helped. I make my weekly daily list, and scratching is a more bigger satisfaction than leaving it to the end of the day or end of the week or end of the month. So I think that's helped me a lot. जो करना है करके खत्म करो and then
खत्म करो.
forget
True,
about
ma'am.
it.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's helped me a lot.
And ma'am, we like as a vibe also, we were planning to do outreach programs. So since you are in Rotary, so I would like to have your advice. Like, what kind of community eye initiatives do you feel Rotary and doctors can build together, and how can we go ahead in this?
So we are doing a lot. Number one are the most easiest are to do eye camps and screen out your cataracts and do the donors for the chashma, which we've done since internship. I think when we didn't know anything of eyes, we were pulled as interns and sent for eye camps, and then residents too, for sure. So Rotary now, this year, our Rotary district has made a full Rotary eye hospital where they plan to give secondary and tertiary care to people. I feel eye camps should only be screening camps because they are torchlight, and even glass spectacles should not be given in eye camps because they are not very accurate and cost money is spent, it's and giving those. So I feel if even if you want to do proper, they should eye camps be only screening camps. So I personally don't believe in distribution of glasses in eye camps because my own experience is that people, because free mein milta hai, they take it, whether they use it or they don't use it, whether they want it, they need it. It's कि छोटा सा भी number है बना दो. And I think in the kind of situations we do, whether the distance is right, whether the light is right, whether the optometrists who come for these eye camps are worth it, because many times camp में चश्मा निकाला and it's not very good. So I'm not a big proponent of doing too much in an eye camp. I think camps should be only for screening, and we have enough doctors, enough ophthalmologists at every nook and corner. Tie up with them and do a proper checkup. Those 10 minutes of your patient also should be worth with a proper checkup. So this eye camps, I feel, is a very optic thing, dikhane ka. It's not good. I mean, we've done so many. And I personally don't promote distribution of glasses in eye camps. They should just be ki, you come and meet me in the clinic. We can give you the free glasses, but we will not just give you idhar ke checkups. I personally, people are doing it, but I don't promote that at all.
Yeah, I think the teamwork will help. Like as you rightly said, the networking and then referring to patient to the nearby
On
hospital.
convenience, and we should do it. We get sponsors, and ye 200 rupees ke chashme are waste of that 10,000 rupees also, I feel.
Yes, yes,
So this is
absolutely.
something which is going on, but I don't think in our Rotary we land up distributing glasses. At least I don't promote it. So, and I think the few ophthalmologists who do it don't really promote it. So we hardly distribute it. It's come to us. You must give glasses. We've got a sponsor. I've always said no. I will call them here and I will do it.
Good, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your all the answers. And next, over to you, Dr. Ritu, for the next segment.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pranjali. So, Dr. Svetlana, I just heard about the word that I was waiting for, the Vipassana bit. And that's the next segment all about the inner journey, Vipassana, family, and life. So, we always hear practice what you preach, which is a phrase quite well spoken, but rarely adopted by doctors. Well, you choose to lead by example, be it work excellence, discipline in life, or prioritizing mental health and work life balance. So, how has this Vipassana, which I've heard you practice quite regularly, how has this changed the way you respond to either stress, patients, family, like you said, leadership responsibilities, Rotary?
Have you all heard about Vipassana? So, Vipassana is a meditation technique in its most purest form, as practiced and taught by good Buddha. And that's a belief. There are many versions of meditation. I landed up with this version because I got married into a family. Besides my husband, all were Vipassana teachers or assistant teachers. Then my own parents did the course. So, I did my first course when I was 24 or something. So for me, I found my calling because then I stopped seeking because, it took me everywhere. But that is a personal journey. So I'll tell you in a very simple, once a teacher only had explained that, how is it different from, say, art of living? How is it different from this? How is it different? You get asked these questions many times because I'm quite passionate about what I practice. So everybody says, we do this, we did, how is it different? So what I was explained was that you're actually training your mind to be an observer. You read books, you hear good talks, you hear everything, and people tell you positive thinking karo, negative thinking mat karo. They tell you to do it, but really, besides breath works, there are these apps which you can listen and calm yourself. But there has to be a more universal technique which has nothing to do with religion, nothing to do with education, nothing to do with intelligence. It should be universal. So this is what it's training your mind to be an observer in life. So you can be an observer, and when you believe in that, and how do you actually be an observer? Because you will be an observer only when you know that it's not a permanent thing. Because if it is permanent, you will not be able to get out of it if you know your worry is permanent or your happiness is not permanent. Both will make you sad. So you have to basically understand that everything is a flux, everything is impermanent. And then by these breath works and sensations on the body, we go for 10 days to learn the first course of technique of meditation. We actually train our body, our mind to be an observer. So I think one thing which helped me was where I'm little against these secrets and these Gyan books because there's too much of emphasis on positive thinking. Like, see the glass is half full and not half empty. But I think what Vipassana has explained us that no, the glass, see the whole glass, see the full and the empty, see the negative and the positive. Only see the positive sides of the thing. That is not the complete picture. You have to finally see the complete picture. So, this whole thing, ki bura mat socho, how can you not think bura? It's all in your mind. There is so much of external things. So, this whole thing, that one of the aspects of Vipassana which is missed is that even thoughts are sensations on your mind which come and go. You don't give emphasis to good or bad thoughts because they will come and go, and you obviously, by breath works, you keep bringing it out. So, this whole thing, which my friends also, this positive thinking, this you know, it honestly irritates me because no, positive and negative are two sides of the same coin. Glass is half full, glass is half empty. How can you just see the half full glass? Then what is happening to the empty bit? So the balance is not there. So I want to look, I am not out up there yet, but my aspiration is that you have to see your life as a whole and nothing is going to be, everything is actually perfect. Perfection is a perspective. For me, a beauty or a definition of a beauty could be different, a perfect beauty, and for you, it could be different. For me, for a doctor's kid, a perfect son is the one who's become a doctor. But for Dr. Lotika, the perfect son is an artist. Or for me, my perfect son is a musician. So I think we are getting confused between, to even take it bigger, this whole definition of in our young boys, the whole protein nonsense that's going on in the world, that so much of protein and animal protein is only good and vegetarian protein is bad. So I think it's a perspective which we are somewhere missing the good and the bad. We are focusing too much on being good, do gratitude, do prayers, be lucky, be this. We are not dealing with this negative part of our life. And the minute we deal with anything, it's over. In my practice, you deal with the situation, then it will not come back to haunt you or worry you or trouble you. And even the good, you keep feeling good, oh, I'm the president, I'm this, I'm that. It's going to, then the day you're not going to be, is going to be bothering you. Or for that matter, you have a good surgery or bad surgery. Even
Right.
a definition of a good surgery is different for everybody. A good surgery for me is done in 20 minutes. Maybe for another doctor, good surgery is done, a cataract is done in 10 minutes. If they do 15 minutes, they're saying,
Yeah.
oh, आज की surgery अच्छी नहीं थी, आज मुझे 15
Actually,
मिनट लग गए. So I think we have to have
beautifully
our
put
own
out.
definitions for everything. And
Absolutely.
negative is not bad. Negative is as important, or down is as important as good. We have too much emphasis on good. And if the child is, even if he's a bad boy, just basics of goodness should be there. He should not go kill somebody, murder somebody, steal things, lie. But in the end, he's not a perfect child just because he's not good in academics, or even a football player is going to have the perfect kick and not so perfect kick. So I think somewhere we have to be very clear with our thoughts on perfection and what we want in life. So that is where Vipassana is saying that everything needs to be addressed to with this emotion of it's not going to be forever. And you learn to be an observer. So things will come and go and you will not disturb your balance. But believe me, 9 out of 10, we disturb it. But we come back quicker to the equilibrium. We always, our equilibrium, it's not that it doesn't go away, but the technique helps me come back to my balance maybe faster. That's what I believe.
He
But
said,
ask
ma'am,
my
and I think,
husband, he doesn't think like that.
I-
He thinks
but I
jab
think
tak
beautifully आप बता रहे हो कि the way you said, like they always say, right, that this only constant in this world or life is change.
of
So
course.
similarly, impermanence is something which is something not understood. And gratitude of course has to be there, or rather, even I love the way with which you said need and want, and you're now bridging it also with the fact that good, bad, perfect. There was earlier, it was like, are you a good child or are you a bad child? Now it is like, are you a perfect child, a perfect parent, a perfect daughter-in-law? There are so many expectations, but then the
Tags are
moment you
there.
dissociate yourself, I think that's where Vipassana probably helps,
It helps.
rightly
It
as
does
said.
help because they're actually giving you a technique to
Yes.
to do it rather than just
Mhm.
understand it at an
Correct.
intellectual level.
Wonderful,
So
ma'am.
it
So
helps me
you
at least.
I think you clearly answered also my question, which was, that how this philosophy has helped you to stay grounded in a demanding medical career. Also, talking about, I think my one of my questions was that, women often strive for perfection. I think again that one also you have, given out as an answer to us. So I'll go to my last question, ma'am, and that basically is about, you said musician, you enjoy reading, you enjoy music, you enjoy so many languages, and we've seen you travel to places like Ladakh, Iceland, and Svalbard. How does all of this, the entire gamut of these experiences enrich you as a person and as a doctor?
See, reading, I would not be able to read, and then I felt I'm missing out. So I really felt that fear of missing out because couldn't read. So I kind of joined a book club. And everybody knows it's my book club meeting because, like a school student, I'm finishing the book before that. But that has been an experience journey to read some good books, some very bad books. But I really started enjoying reading, though I read those one or two books a month. But I really then do it sincerely. Music, I think we all enjoy. So it was something you put in, but I love all music. And my son is into techno and hard music. And he creates his own music. So I'll end up being his judge. I keep judging his
Really?
music. Hindi music obviously is very close to heart. On languages was something that because of I'm very close to Bollywood and good Bollywood, good Hindi music.
Mhm.
In COVID, we decided did this 2 year online Urdu learning program with a Calcutta teacher. So I think that that kind of brought out the romance in us, the literature, and we started reading. But I think that will get picked up after this year is over. And traveling is, I
Wonderful.
think, thanks to my husband. He loves to travel. I don't travel even 20% of what he travels. But then I better not leave him alone so much, so I go with him. So I enjoy travel, but it's pushing me out of my comfort level. I love being at my home and everything. So actually to just pack and to remember everything and then to come and unpack. For me,
Oh,
traveling is really out of my comfort level, but when I do it, I'm very happy once it's over.
thoroughly
But
in it, yeah, yeah.
but when the whole rigmarole of planning, packing, and traveling is very hard on me. But I do it because it gives me time with my family far more than any
Okay.
other.
Yeah. Two main findings. One is, of course, your love for music and reading, and another is that your son is a techno, so we'll probably sometime, crash into him and hear him as well, right?
Yeah, that will
Thank you
be
so
done.
much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Now, for the next segment, I invite Dr. Lotika.
Oh,
So,
There she
I
comes.
didn't know that's the next segment. I went through all the questions. I thought I'm done.
no, we still
No, so
have
these
we
are the
still have
main
two
ones
segments.
now.
We still have two segments left. We
Oh,
have the
okay.
audience ask, and our audience ask is now getting quite popular. And somebody in our audience has asked, is Svetlana from Russia? What is the origin of the name?
Though I love Russia more than America, that's not where because I'm a Russian. So I was born with natural lighter color brown hair and fair skin compared to a lot of people, my family and everything, though actually many are fair. So I'm named after Stalin's daughter. She is
Oh, yeah.
Svetlana something, and she took asylum because he was a communist from Russia via India to US. So when
Okay.
she was in India, she was in a close to where I was born, and she was that time dating a Thakur in that area. So her name was everywhere in the papers and everything, Svetlana, Svetlana. So when I was born, my father thought, oh, mere ghar to ek Russian paida ho gayi hai. And all. So they never thought
Oh,
that.
that-
So it was as silly as that. But the
uh,
story then, because I never looked like my siblings or anybody till I grew up. I was told that I'm a
Okay.
love child of my uncle and his Swedish girlfriend. And because the marriage never happened, I was adopted. And also, I've been traumatized as a child a lot.
Oh,
But I
yeah.
really think now I'm a replica of my mother, so that story doesn't stay. But no, I'm not a Russian. The
Okay.
name is I'm
Good.
named after not such a
Yeah.
famous figure of Russia's daughter.
Okay, fine. Now coming back to these days we see a lot of working age people having a lot of eyes strain because there's so much of now, especially with the Prime Minister again saying work from home and all that. So what are the things that people can do to, protect their eyes and see to it that they don't get dry eyes as well as probably early cataracts or something like that. So, what would be your message to them? How can they look after their eyes?
So you can really do nothing. Screen is here to stay. So dry
Okay.
eyes are here to stay, and over
Mm.
the counter medicines will just get more and more available and more expensive, and more research will go in. I think the
Okay.
only thing we can do is keep taking breaks from screen time, and bigger the screen, the better it is. I think
Okay.
small screens from phone to small pads, the bigger the screen, the better it is, because then
Okay.
you don't blink enough. That whole saying, you blink,
Yeah.
you miss. So we don't,
Mm-hmm.
with those footnotes also we'll read. And this whole competition of not increasing your font size, not wearing glasses, and trying to read those small prints. I think we should
Mm-hmm.
get out of it. Wherever we need, wear those glasses, increase your font
Mm-hmm.
size, go for bigger screen, and keep taking breaks from the screen. This
Mm-hmm.
sitting and just staring at the screen is actually mentally also not good. But that's
Okay.
what we do. So I think this dry eye problems are here to stay. And because of this global warming or heat, more heat, the air conditioning is not helping. So it's
Okay.
adding. So keep your blast of your air conditioning away from your face or anything. That's going
Okay.
to dry
Oh,
up, and keep
that's nice.
blinking.
Yeah.
So keep taking breaks so that your blinking rhythm is reset every few
Okay.
10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. This continuous
Mm-hmm.
staring of small prints is which is the biggest problem. And also reading in a moving car. I think we are
Mm-hmm.
constantly then refocusing. So that also then
Yeah.
tires you. So I think
Mm-hmm.
moving cars and all, we should also avoid reading small prints,
Okay.
or even
Okay.
watching the screens which we put in front of our
Yeah,
back
yeah. There are a lot of people who, will put on a movie, and especially
and see in
who
those
commute and
phones.
all that. They will watch because recently I went by train and I saw everybody promptly remove their phone and they were, watching a movie, a 2, 3 hours
That's
movie, depending on
even,
how long
yeah.
the
So that's
commute
very good
is.
in metro. Why I enjoyed metro. My few rides I plan to take more is that there's no
Mm.
internet. So there is no
Oh,
noise,
yes.
there is no music. Nobody's talking
Oh,
on the phone.
very true.
So
Very
I
true,
think
yeah.
somewhere phones are
Mm-hmm.
not, even if you're not using your phone, listen to, but this whole constant Insta, the changing of screen, you're refocusing.
Yes.
I think that
Mm-hmm.
is what is causing the strain and the pain.
Okay, fine. So in the rat race of today, what advice would you give to a young woman doctor who wants to build both a practice as well as a meaningful personal life?
First, understand you're not a rat. You are a human.
Mm.
There is no need to be in any race. Race with yourself, and you will get your
Uh,
answers. I think just that
mm,
I really feel that we don't need to prove a point to everybody. I think we are trying to prove a
yeah.
point to our professors, our parents, our children, our husband, our
Mm,
friends. That whole
mm,
Nirma ad, Meri sari, tumhari
yeah.
sari se safed kaise. If we just forget about
True.
everybody,
Yeah.
just have your
True.
own personal boundary and only be answerable to your own
Mm,
space, your own boundary, you will not bother. You should just
uh,
protect yourself from everybody, even your own children, you should protect you. My own son says, "Oh, what did you do all day?" Sometimes. And I'm like,
uh,
nothing, but none of your business to question me on that. Even today, Sunday,
true.
I did nothing. It's none of your business. He doesn't
Uh,
like it, but really, it's not his business to question me what I did today.
True. True. Okay, so now we move on to the next segment, which is the rapid fire segment, which we call the pulse of life. So we will be switching gears, and the answers are expected in either a word or a sentence. So are you ready to start?
Of course, I'm very get up. How many questions so that I keep putting the chits away? I have it, huh? I
They're
have the
about.
answers, huh? It's been rigged. After the
So,
neat leaking, even these questions have been leaked. Trust me, I know that.
so one word that describes you.
Huh?
One word that describes you.
Happy.
Oh, that's nice. So, Dr. Svetlana, a morning person or an evening person?
Evening for sure.
Okay, good.
Full Raat ki
That's
Rani. There is no doubt on that.
good. Then, cataract surgery or dry eye clinic? What gives you more professional satisfaction?
I think dry eye clinic.
Dry eye clinic. Okay. What is the one book that has stayed with you? I know your book club is something that you've been doing for a long time
So
now,
there
but
are two books which do come in mind. One was I read
Mhm.
very early, that is 40 Rules of Love, I think at the age
Okay.
of 14. But my
Oh,
last, loveliest book, if you all have not got a chance to read, is Lessons in Chemistry.
lessons in chemistry.
I'm
Okay.
forgetting the author, and I got a chance to have a signed copy from the author. And she wrote
Oh,
V. Mozart. That's the protagonist's name when she wrote for me. But it's a
oh, okay.
very good book for people who are into intellectual spaces like doctors, lawyers,
Mm-hmm.
scientists. Very
Okay.
nice book.
Good. Good, that's nice. So, what is your favorite travel memory? Ladakh, Iceland, or Svalbard? Did I
Svalbard.
get that? Svalbard? Svalbard. Yeah, okay.
What
The
is my
North Pole. Pardon?
what is my favorite?
Which is your favorite travel memory?
I think it's Ladakh. So
Okay,
much
Ladakh.
beauty in at home is something we should be very proud of. It's Ladakh.
Wow.
By
Okay.
millions,
Okay.
it's a Ladakh.
Okay. With that comment, Ladakh goes straight on top of my bucket list because it's been there, but it's been somewhere down now. I shall.
Before these people just construct and make everything go. It's too
Okay, we'll
pretty.
see that.
And it's
What is
home.
the? Yeah, that's true. It's India. So one habit that you never compromise on.
My nutrition, my
Oh,
eating. I do, but for me, my health, my nutrition,
oh
I don't.
yes. Yeah.
This is this
Yeah.
big saying, waste it on the plate, then waste it on your waist. I mean,
Yeah.
really, I don't believe
Hmm.
in don't waste food, but eat it.
Yeah.
Don't waste it on
True.
you.
True. True.
So I
So
don't.
one song or type of music that lifts your mood.
रुक जाना नहीं तुम कभी हार के.
Wow, that's nice.
Because
That's
these are
very nice.
my go-to songs.
Yeah,
But
good,
another
good.
one is also this one. I don't know. It slipped my mind. Two songs I hum.
Okay, good. So I know you've been doing a very good job as the president of Rotary Club of Bombay Midtown, but one leadership lesson that Rotary has taught you.
Only 10%, 90% is noise when people message you. You should know, you should learn to block the noise. You'll be much better off. They are not going to matter.
Okay, okay, okay. Then Sparky in one word. Sparky, I believe,
My dog.
is your pet, yeah.
My baby will never grow up.
Okay.
Never grow
Okay.
up.
So, what is your life mantra in one sentence?
आने वाला पल जाने वाला है. This was the other song I was
Mm.
trying to remember.
That is so true. Yeah,
Don't let it
that
go.
is.
Well, it will go, but live it.
Yeah, that is right. So that is so nice, sharp, sincere, and that's exactly what we all stand for. Now I hand over to Dr. Kavita for the closing.
Thank you, Dr.
I've
Lotika.
said her favorite song. She's very happy with आने वाला पल जाने वाला है.
That is exactly what I was going to say. I mean, thank you so much. Dr. Svetlana, it's been amazing to be sharing all your inspirations, your story, to learn from you today. I remember this one friend of mine, he mentioned this Sanskrit phrase which says Atiti Devo Bhava, which is the guest is divine. So thank you for your divine presence with us
Come
today.
on, don't.
And because you mentioned Vipassana and you mentioned focus on the thing that is in front of you, not in the past, not in the future, right now. Uh, and so, what I learned from our Vibe Life today is that pick and choose your battles as you go along. So, I would like to ask this gorgeous panel of ours what they learned from you today. So,
Oh,
Dr. Khan,
yes, I would love to know.
Dr. Pranjali.
Yes, Kavita. So same, it's like choose your battles. And another thing, nothing is going to last forever. So we need to, and again, 90% we need to learn what is noise and what is reality in life, that we need to
Yeah.
listen and choose correctly, ma'am.
And
Dr. Lotika.
Yeah,
I
so
learned
you
from
need.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So no, we learn from each other. And yeah, there were so many things. One is, of course, that the buck stops at you, and come what may, the show does go on, and you have to, finally, you are the person who is answerable for whatever brickbats that or bouquets, whatever that might come to you. Also, of course, need to pick up your battles and deal with them. As well as what I really liked was when two X's come together, you have to multitask. It is so true. But it was so beautifully put together. I know that. But so now, Dr. Ritu.
So I think one is, I really love my glasses, ma'am, and Dr. Svetlana, and I loved yours too. And I always get these compliments, and sometimes people even ask me, "Do you really have a number, or are you just wearing them to flaunt them?" So I think it is really very necessary that people stick to clarity. I'm coming back to the topic. I really feel you have done absolute justice to the word clarity, whether it is clarity in understanding what you're standing for, in understanding what you've come on this earth for, in the sense that make your life really meaningful. It's not necessary that look at unrealistic purposes, but then yes, whatever you can do, make the most of it, live the life to the fullest. Okay, be very clear what is the need, what is the want, be very clear that you are the one who's answerable. And so and also again very clear that you're also indispensable. Everybody is indispensable. So when it comes to stress, I think, which is again another global warming topic for all of us, I think stress is something which each one of us can handle because it's self created, right? Anything and everything can be managed if we believe and if we disconnect, as you said. Vipassana teaches you. So I think definitely for me, it's about first remembering Dr. Svetlana and then thinking of my stresses, my problems, and my needs and my wants. So thank you for giving us that lesson.
and Dr. Rukia.
Okay. So I think you have really inspired with your grit and resilience to me, Matlab. And like, Ritu said that you are so clear in your mind, you don't get, which is what I felt that, you're listening, but you have learned the way of filtering the noise. I just have to take those 10% and work actively on that, and the rest is just the noise. So I think Vipassana was probably a big way to understand what is noise and which is the important 10%. Also about Vipassana, which I really like what you said is, how it's like you need to look at it as a full glass. I think, even to children, we keep telling them, Are acha dekho na, jane do na, agar wo bura hai to. You keep on telling them to you come back to the focus on the good, the full glass and not the half empty glass. But yeah, it is the full glass which is there, and that's what is there, of course. And I think, like, what you really want to see, that is very important when you spoke about clarity, that what you want to see and just work on that rather than going for the best thing. So what you want, so being with your needs and wants, and leadership is something where the buck falls on you, so you need to take ownership of it and you eventually have to face it. So it comes with everything, the bricks and the pans both are yours, and nothing will last forever. So aane wala pal jaane wala hai.
That's true, actually. If you see, these songs have so much,
Oh,
so
yes.
much truth, so
Yeah,
much
yeah.
Yeah,
So much
so much.
meaning and
spirituality in
depth.
them. This is the
Yeah.
Yeah,
truth.
Mm.
but with that, ruk
So
jana
same.
nahi, tu kahin haar ke.
No, you cannot stop.
So you need to keep going there. Yes.
I love the fact which she
Yeah.
said, that look at the negatives, because it's the blacks that make the whites more visible, or it's
Exactly,
the bad
actually.
which
Yeah,
actually brings
that's
out the
true.
good, right? So always it's like
See the
you
whole
get the calm
picture.
after
So,
the
you
storm.
can't keep,
Mm.
even in your children, you can't keep
Absolutely.
seeing, "तुम first नहीं आए, तुमने fail हो गए."
Absolutely.
कहीं तो
Mm.
he's fail भी हो गया, तो this is his reality. The truth is the whole truth, not the part truth.
Yeah, true, true.
Yeah.
So
Very good.
we end today's Vibe Live with yet another divine shloka which says Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina. May all beings be happy, free from illness. May all see what is auspicious. May no one suffer. And we end it with our signature Vibe Live, which we say
Okay.
on the count of three. So 1, 2, 3. Be the
Be
vibe.
the be the
All right.
vibe.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Namaskar.
you so
Yeah.
much,
Thank
Thank you
doctor.
so
Thanks
much.
so
Thank
much,
you
ma'am.
so
Hope you
much. Yeah.
Thank
enjoyed.
you, Dr. Lotika. See you.
Thank you.
For getting me. Thank you, everybody. I did feel like a star. It was, but I won't let it get on me. Though from 7 to 10, also, I'll feel like one as the last fellowship of my year as a president.
Uh,
Okay.
super. Have a great
Yeah.
time.
Thank
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye.